This 40-year-old craftsman is meticulously peeling the fresh green skin off a bamboo stalk with a scraper. He's Japan's most famous artisan, handcrafting briefcases valued at $1,000. With 20 years of traditional craftsmanship under his belt, he sits cross-legged on the floor for 6 hours daily, repeating the same steps until a bamboo stalk is transformed into a briefcase. The bamboo, stripped of its skin, has its ends sawed off before being split down the middle at just the right moment. To facilitate subsequent division, the craftsman marks the bamboo, gradually cutting it into quarters, eighths, and finally, sixteenths along the cross-section. This is the initial treatment of the bamboo, but to reach the level needed for a briefcase, this is far from enough. The craftsman must operate with precision, ensuring each bamboo strip is uniform in size. This stage is also the most prone to finger cuts. When his hands can no longer continue, he uses his mouth to assist. Next, each bamboo strip is passed through a blade on a wooden stake, trimmed to a width of 3 millimeters. Once the bamboo is dyed a deep brown, the hand weaving begins. Starting with a knot, he forms a cross shape, the framework for the bottom of the briefcase. He then carefully fills in with bamboo strips, paying attention to the alternation of each one to ensure seamless joining. Over time, the outline of the base takes shape. Despite the tedious process, the craftsman can't afford any negligence. Continuing to fill along the predetermined path, he marks the diagonal ends with a pen, then measures the base with a ruler to ensure accuracy before inserting a bamboo strip at each edge for support. Before weaving, he moistens the parts to be folded with water, then cuts the bamboo strips at the top corners along the watermark, separating them with a tool and folding them carefully. This step requires patience. Bamboo is flexible but can't be handled too roughly, or it will break. Now, the weaving of the briefcase's sides begins, a more complex task than the base. Watching the craftsman's skilled hands weave back and forth, ensuring no gaps between each bamboo strip, the surface of the briefcase gradually emerges. Without at least a decade of skill, such proficiency would be hard to achieve. The black bag in front of him is roasted over a fire to create the wicker edges. The degree of bending is controlled entirely by feel, weaving the wicker into the briefcase's edges and securing it with black thread. After completing the opening, he secures the wicker on the surface of the briefcase. Lighting a candle, he scorches the surface of the briefcase, mainly to remove any protruding knots. The craftsman adjusts the varnish, carefully applying it to the surface, giving the bamboo a noticeable shine. The thicker the coat, the stronger the gloss. With the accessories ready, he drills holes at the appropriate spots, installing the lock ring and clasp for the briefcase, then the sides, hammering the fittings into place. Finally, he secures the handle, and the creation of the briefcase nears completion. Protective covers are glued to each of the 4 corners of the base to prevent wear. The entire process, completed by hand, evokes admiration for the exquisite craftsmanship. If you were to price this briefcase, how much do you think it's worth?